Today, I am going to demonstrate the procedure of establishing an account in Hotmail or Outlook, which is fundamentally what Hotmail is now referred to as, but let's commence right here. We are presently on the Microsoft platform, and for those who might not be aware, this platform or Microsoft itself directly owns Outlook, which is the proprietor of Hotmail, similar to how Google owns Gmail. Now, one particularly crucial aspect before we commence, keep in mind that this is relevant to both a desktop computer and a mobile phone. You just need to open a web browser such as Google Chrome, and once you are there, you can proceed to navigate to the web page. And what exactly is the web page? Simply input outlook.com into your web browser like this outlook.com, or if that's too challenging, you can alternatively type hotmail.com, as it will effortlessly redirect you to essentially the identical web page. So once you reach this destination, Microsoft Outlook will be displayed and it will prompt you to create a complimentary account. At this particular juncture, we will click there and we will observe what procedure it requires us to complete in order to create an account initially. It states new email, and here where it mentions new email, we must select what name we desire our email to possess or what initial. I will explain this in more detail. We can create it for a company, an individual, or a child, well, for whoever you prefer. In my case, we are going to create an email for this channel. I will name it Cyber Plus and leave it like that, and it states Outlook. When you proceed to click on the section labeled as Outlook.com, you are presented with the option to subsequently select Hotmail.com. This genuinely depends on your personal preference. There is fundamentally no significant distinction between these two options. The primary consideration is that when you need to provide your email address to someone verbally, meaning you have to articulate it out loud, it should be whichever is more straightforward for you to pronounce. Some individuals find Outlook simpler, while others find Hotmail more convenient. Com. But in this particular instance, we are going to establish it with Hotmail. And as we observe here, we will simply proceed by clicking next, and it will inform us that another individual already possesses this email address. Attempt another designation or select one of these available alternatives. If I click on choose one of these, it provides me with some alternative options such as Cyber 1, Cyber Plus 2023, Plus 1965. I will opt for Cyber Plus 1, but I won't select it here. Instead, I will place it here. And once I input the name here, remember it must be available, although if you desire, and for instance it's not available like with Outlook, let's see if perhaps Cyber Plus is available as Outlook. Let's check, and in this scenario it's not available either. But well, let's set it as Hotmail, click next, and well, it says it's not available either. How peculiar. Well, let's attempt another one. I'll input ccontact, let's see contact.com, let's verify if this one is also not available. Well, let's try another email. So now I input contacts and it's not available either. Let's try appending a number. Let's put 29 and click next. Still not available. Well, I'll remain here until some email indicates it is available, and then we will proceed. I eventually discovered one. It's Cyber Plus with an additional S and a numeral 1 at the conclusion, Hotmail.com, and this serves to illustrate that it is highly probable that numerous email addresses are already occupied, so what you need to identify are variations. For instance, as I accomplished here, duplicate a letter or append a number, but remember that the most crucial aspect with emails is that it should be as straightforward as possible to articulate, so that in the future when we're stating our email address there won't be any difficulty. So we've put it there. We're going to click next. And now it tells us to create a password. It's necessary to write the password you want to use with the account. Here, remember that it's important not to use the same thing you used in your email. For example, if I use cyberplus1 as my password, it obviously doesn't make sense, and I think it probably won't even let me because it's very easy for someone to steal my account, for someone to get in and literally steal my account and use it. In this particular situation, keep in mind that, for instance, within Gmail, certain special symbols are mandated, but that is not the case here, so you have the flexibility to utilize any name, practically anything, but remember that the intention is for it not to have any personal association with you. For example, avoid using your birth date, age, favorite number, or similar things, because if there are individuals close to you who are aware of those details, they might potentially gain access to your account if they know that's the password you frequently use. Therefore, endeavor to select something entirely different. For instance, I might opt for Camilla54 because I am not acquainted with anyone named Camilla, and it's not someone in my close circle. Nonetheless, it is obviously advisable that you incorporate numerous symbols and letters to render the password increasingly challenging. Additionally, please keep in mind that this is case sensitive, which means that if I decide to use, for instance, Camilla with an uppercase C, each and every time I log into my account, I am required to use the uppercase C. If I mistakenly use a lowercase c, it will not permit me to log in the next time. So I'm going to set a password here, and that's it. I've done it. And now it says here, I would like to receive information, tips and offers about Microsoft products and services. You have the option to either enable this feature or leave it in a disabled state. Essentially, these offers and various promotions are occasionally provided, such as offers on OneDrive to acquire additional storage space or possibly Windows licenses or licenses for Microsoft software applications and so forth. So remember that if you want those things, you will leave it enabled. If not, it's no problem. And then we will click next, and here it asks for your name. We require a little additional information to properly establish your account. In this particular instance, if it were an actual account, meaning this account is indeed genuine but not intended for a specific individual, I would input a name such as Geronimo Ruiz, and that would be all. But in my case, I will literally use the name of the channel, which is Cyber Plus. What I can do is set it as Cyber Plus with Cyber as the first name and Plus as the last name. Once I have it activated here, I proceed by clicking next, and it will subsequently load your date of birth. Initially, it identifies my country, which in this instance is Colombia. However, if you are situated in a different country and it mistakenly identifies Algeria, but you are actually residing in Mexico, for instance, then make sure to adjust and set your country correctly. This is important because there are certain locations where specific limitations or regulations may apply, so it is advisable to set it to your actual country to prevent any potential issues. Now, this particular account here can indeed be established as a child account. You just need to, for instance, input a month or a year that would correspond to someone who is underage. For example, in this scenario, I entered 2023, indicating that this account would essentially be for an infant. So, in my situation, I'm going to input an authentic birthday and genuine birth date and simply click continue where it indicates next. However, if you wish to create an account for a child, a young boy or girl, as you can observe here, you just need to select the birth date and a child account will be generated because it automatically detects if they are 18 or not. Once we click next, it prompts us to create an account and requests us to solve a puzzle to verify we're not a robot. We click next and it instructs us to use the arrows to rotate the animal to align with the direction of the hand. So this hand here, I'll zoom in so you can see, as you can observe, it's pointing to the right. So I need it to be, well, to the right, like diagonally. I think it would be around here. See, the animal's head or whatever appears should point in the same angle as the hand. Then with the arrows, I adjust it and click send, and it automatically loads and says verification completed. You've proven you're human. Continue with your action. That is, with our email, now it will simply load and inform us that your Microsoft account gathers everything. It informs us what this account offers, and we simply click continue, or if you wish, you can read that. Here we have a super important option, which is, do you want to keep the session open? Meaning that even if we log out of our Windows account, when we enter our Outlook account, it will always be open. In this case, I will click no because I want it to close and then log in again. So as you can see, it has literally closed. So what am I going to do? I'm simply going to go back to hotmail.com, but in this case it won't load the home page but will take me directly to Outlook to see my email, which is finally done. I already have it here and it's as easy as logging in and using it. I can send new emails. It gives me some steps to follow. I can choose the appearance if I want it to be dark or light, for example. As you can see there, I can even confirm the time zone to verify that it is indeed the time in the country where I am located. Import contacts, send a message, get Outlook for our cell phone, which is Outlook Mobile, or directly upgrade to Microsoft 365, which is the whole Office package and all that. But well, the only thing we need to remember is that at the top right, we will have our name and email address, so that if someone asks us for it, we can send it to them and say, hey, send me emails to this account and I'll reply there. Having mentioned that, this concludes the entirety of the video. I sincerely hope you found it enjoyable. See you in the next one. Farewell.